Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, uncovering the hidden treasures of our collective past. Today, we find ourselves in the midst of 19th century Japan, as we delve into the fascinating tale of the Meiji Restoration. This pivotal event, which marked a profound transformation in the history of Japan, is a story of intrigue, courage, and vision. As we begin our exploration, let us set the stage for this remarkable era. In the early 19th century, Japan was a land shrouded in mystery, its doors closed to the outside world. The Tokugawa shogunate, which had ruled with an iron fist since 1603, had imposed a strict policy of isolation, known as sakaku, effectively sealing off the country from foreign influence. However, by the mid-19th century, this policy was beginning to show signs of weakness. The arrival of American Commodore Matthew Perry's black ships in 1853 marked a turning point in Japanese history, as the country was forced to open its doors to the world. The city of Edo, with its bustling streets and vibrant culture, was a hotbed of intellectual and political activity during this period. The arrival of foreign ships and the subsequent influx of new ideas created an atmosphere of excitement and trepidation. As the old order began to crumble, a new generation of leaders emerged, eager to shape Japan's future. Men like Yoshida Shoin, a charismatic educator and activist, advocated for the modernization of Japan's military and economy. His ideas, though radical at the time, would later influence the leaders of the Meiji Restoration. The year 1858 marked a significant milestone in the lead-up to the Meiji Restoration, as the Treaty of Amity and Commerce was signed between Japan and the United States. This treaty, negotiated by Townsend Harris, the first American consul general to Japan, opened up Japanese ports to American trade and commerce, further weakening the Tokugawa shogunate's grip on power. As we explore the historical background of the Meiji Restoration, we must also consider the role of other key figures who contributed to its emergence. Ito Hirobumi, a young samurai from the Choshu domain, would play a crucial role in shaping Japan's new government. His experiences studying Western politics and economics in Europe would later inform his vision for a modernized Japan. The city of Kyoto, with its ancient temples and imperial palaces, was another hub of activity during this period. The emperor, Meiji, who would later lend his name to the Restoration, was just a young boy at the time, but his role as a symbol of Japanese unity would become increasingly important in the years to come. As we stand at the threshold of this new era, we find ourselves surrounded by the trappings of a bygone age. The Tokugawa shogunate, though still in power, was beginning to show signs of weakness. The stage is set for the dramatic events that will unfold as Japan embarks on a journey of self-discovery and reinvention. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, uncovering the hidden treasures of our collective past. Today we find ourselves in the midst of 19th century Japan, as we delve deeper into the fascinating tale of the Meiji Restoration. As we explore this pivotal event, we witness the dawn of a new age, one that would forever change the course of Japanese history. The year 1868 marked the beginning of this era, with the fall of the Tokugawa shogunate and the restoration of imperial rule. The city of Edo, now renamed Tokyo, was transformed into a hub of modernization, as Japan embarked on a journey of self-discovery and reinvention. One of the key figures who emerged to shape the country's future was Ito Hirobumi, a young samurai from the Choshu domain. His experiences studying Western politics and economics in Europe had informed his vision for a modernized Japan, and he played a crucial role in shaping the new government. In 1869, Ito became the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and later, in 1885, he was appointed as the first Prime Minister of Japan. The Meiji Restoration also saw the introduction of significant reforms, including the abolition of feudalism and the establishment of a modern conscript army. The education system was overhauled, with an emphasis on Western-style learning, and the country's infrastructure was transformed with the construction of railroads, telegraph lines, and ports. As Japan opened its doors to the world, it also began to engage in diplomatic relations with foreign countries. In 1871, the Iwakura mission, led by Prince Iwakura Tomomi, embarked on a journey to the United States and Europe, marking the first official diplomatic mission from Japan to the Western world. This mission not only helped to establish Japan's presence on the global stage but also facilitated the exchange of ideas, culture, and technology between East and West. The city of Osaka, with its thriving commercial center, became a hub for trade and commerce during this period. The introduction of new technologies, such as the steam engine and the textile machine, transformed the manufacturing sector, and Japan began to emerge as a major industrial power. As the country's economy grew, so did its cultural landscape, with the emergence of new forms of literature, art, and entertainment. As we reflect on this period of transformation, we are reminded of the words of Emperor Meiji himself, who stated, "The aim of our restoration is to create a new Japan, based on the principles of justice, equality, and freedom." These ideals would guide the country's development in the years to come, as Japan continued to evolve and grow into a major world power. As we conclude this segment, we find ourselves at the height of the Meiji Restoration's influence, with Japan having transformed itself from an isolated feudal society to a modern industrialized nation. Join me next, dear listeners, as we explore the decline or aftermath of this era, and examine the lasting legacy of the Meiji Restoration on Japanese history. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, uncovering the hidden treasures of our collective past. Today, we find ourselves in the midst of late 19th and early 20th century Japan, as we delve into the decline or aftermath of the Meiji Restoration and examine the lasting legacy of this pivotal event on Japanese history. As the Meiji period drew to a close with the death of Emperor Meiji in 1912, Japan had transformed itself from an isolated feudal society to a modern, industrialized nation. However, this transformation was not without its challenges. The country struggled to balance tradition with modernity, and the impact of these changes on its people and culture was profound. The rapid modernization and urbanization led to social unrest, labor disputes, and the emergence of new political movements. One of the key figures who played a significant role in shaping Japan's future during this period was Ito Hirobumi, who continued to serve as prime minister until his assassination in 1909 by a Korean nationalist. His legacy, however, lived on, and his vision for a modernized Japan continued to guide the country's development. The Taisho period, which spanned from 1912 to 1926, saw significant changes in Japanese society. The introduction of democratic reforms, such as universal male suffrage in 1925, marked an important step towards democratization. However, this period also saw the rise of militarism and nationalism, which would ultimately contribute to Japan's involvement in World War II. The city of Tokyo, now a thriving metropolis, became a hub for cultural and intellectual movements. The introduction of Western-style education and the emergence of new forms of literature, art, and entertainment transformed the country's cultural landscape. Writers such as Natsume Soseki and Junichiro Tanizaki gained international recognition, and their works continue to be celebrated today. As we reflect on this period, we are reminded that the legacy of the Meiji Restoration is complex and multifaceted. While it brought about significant modernization and industrialization, it also created new challenges and tensions. The country's struggle to balance tradition with modernity continues to this day, and its impact on Japanese society and culture is still felt. In conclusion, the decline or aftermath of the Meiji Restoration marked a significant turning point in Japanese history. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.